up, guys? Capellini here, and today I have someone special, the PSG coach, the PSG Talon coach, Jok3r. Hey, Jok3r, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
It's amazing for having you. And today we're gonna talk about Reload. Reload start this May 10th of May, in Saturday. He is gonna be in Rio. Another tournament in Brazil. Thank God. I am going to be in Rio. I'm gonna do some vlogs. So if you wanna see, please subscribe to the channel. Check the channel. And today we have so much to talk. We're gonna talk about PSG Talon. We're gonna talk about Reload. We're gonna talk about Siege X, and talking about CGX, Jok3r, the new meta, the new ban phase, the new tactics you're gonna see in CGX. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think the new bend system, it sounds or like I was more hyped about it in the beginning because I thought like you could get more creative with it. But in the end, it is very much like the old bend system, just it gets more boring on some maps. Like it's I mean without spoiling too much, but it's a lot about breaches, like in old bend system, like on Clubhouse, for example, where you always had to bend around like thermites, mavericks, Thatcher, I don't know, Bandit, Kaid, that stuff. It is still super similar to that. So I hoped it would be more creative, but I mean, in the end, opening the building and like opening breaches is still the most important thing to starting the round off. So it's understandable, but yeah, there's also not really a better way to change it. In general, with like Siege X, there's not much difference. I mean, the canisters in the game, they are nice. They're completely useless. The sound engine is just different, but yeah, it looks different, but that's basically it. Like gameplay wise, it still feels like normal old Siege.
Yeah, if you like those map changes like fire extinguisher that make smoke, uh, gas leaks that create fire are gonna impact the competitive, or like the gas leak you're gonna destroy the prep phase and let's go.
Yeah, I think like most of them, like if teams don't troll and don't think about it, they will mostly destroy everything. There's like very rare ones. On Clapos, for example, on Blue, there's like two like fire pipes that you might use, but even if you use them, they burn for like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. So
Yeah.
it's like not really time that you can waste with it. And also the placement of them, I feel like Ubisoft tried to make them fit the map, so they only placed like fire pipes where there were like pipes before the map. So it's like very limited. On like some maps, you can't even like it takes a long time to find the fire pipes and fire extinguishers even. So I feel like they could have put them into more strategical places to make them like I don't know be more valued. But I guess like it is right now, there is like not much impact they have.
No, no, that's good. That's it's like so fun because I played the beta and I feel nothing different in those pipes on those fire extinguishers, and I the feeling is why we have that now.
Yeah.
Mm. Um, in talking about reload is uh the your third international fourth, né? I forgot about TWC. Uh, Tournament with PSG Talon. Now you are the head coach, and we can't forget to talk. People want to know how heavy is replacing Fabian, and how and Fabian has had the personality of PSG Talon, not only in the play style, but he was the PSG Talon guy. How do you feel about replacing someone as Fabian?
I mean, there's like in a way it's like impossible to replace him, but it's also I feel like I was the easiest person to choose because I mean Fabian said it as well on other podcasts, but the I don't know experiment or project of like working with a Korean team is like so different to European teams just because you don't understand the language. It's just such a different way of coaching. And I've been with Fabian now for like basically now for a year. So I learned the ways that work and that don't work, and like his approach, and like also we changed approaches throughout the project multiple times and tried different things. So I feel like just because I've been there for a longer part of the project, I have a good insight, and I also have like a good bond to the players. So it's easy in that way that I have some experience on working with them, but also some parts like Fabian came from being like a two-time world champion player. I have no playing career. Like I legit have played lower tier three stuff at
But you
most,
got a major,
and
man.
that's it. um, sorry, what do you say?
You have a major.
Not no, not
Oh
as a
no, no, no.
player.
And a lot of the player. Yeah, yeah. But that's saying
But
beyond career.
yeah, but like I have no playing experience, and like I have not the strategic background that Fabian has as a player. So I think it's super hard to fill that role in a way. But I think I have a different approach to some things like Fabian, just on a personal level. So I think it's we figured it out as a team kind of now, and we can make it work. It's different, obviously, without Fabian, but it's also we're on a good way. I think all of us feel so. Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah, no, that's so. Talking about PSG Talon, last year we saw like a script. PSG Talon start the tournament slowly. They take a loss, but in the middle of the tournament, PSG Talon completely revamps. They beat teams that are way stronger than the teams they lose. Like we can talk about BDS and Dark Zero on the last exhibition, but unfortunately, it's not enough to qualify. You think this is a problem? This is like a mentality problem, or is something that you guys are working on, or is like we start slow, we need to heat up to the tournament? Why is that?
Um, yeah, I think in a way it's a mentality problem because they for the most important games or like the most winnable games, I think most important is not always the case. I feel like the BDS and Dark Zero games were the more important ones, but like the um Raza Company and Falcons ones were the ones that we kind of had to win. So for the ones that like we actually had a chance of winning and they meant more to us, they I think a little bit of too scared of making mistakes and then they kind of freeze up and they also like have so much or put so much pressure on themselves that it's I don't know not helping. Also, it's been like Gotti's first LAN event, and we played. I think Raza Company was the first game we've played. Like as your first ever LAN event, being there for an invitational, and then playing like a game that you kind of must win. It's a hard situation. I hope that it will be better for Reload. Um, but in the end, that's something that the players kind of need to learn themselves that there always will be pressure. I mean, we could be scars that where it's always expected to be like that they lose the international match because I don't know how many like what their win rate is on international games, but it's awful. Um, so I don't want to be in that position where everyone expects us to lose. I want to be in the position where teams actually think, okay, this can be a hard game, and that our players also expect, okay, we can win this game and we should win this game. And if we get into this mindset, we need to learn that we have pressure on us and that we need to play with the pressure and still don't freeze up and still don't make mistakes. So yeah, I hope that we learn from it and that Boston was our last like trolling or choking moment.
Talking about, I don't think like choking, but in the last days of SI, PSG Talon was hyped by the community. Players like Ryder, I remember seeing Ryder Ace in the game against BDS. The Labs map was like, it's such a blast to watch. You guys brought this mentality to Brazil, or like it's a new event, let's take chill, or like no, let's keep hype it up. PS Talon, let's the same way. Let's show the world what we can do since the beginning, since day one.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to show like that Boston was not a fluke. That we are not like the we're getting close, but then we're not making it. No, we want to show that we win against BDS, against Luxy, or against like good teams consistently. I mean, we have like a 75% map win rate against BDS over the last year, which I feel like it might be the highest one of any team in the world. Um, and it's I don't know, it's crazy. I think we showed it two times, and we also won against Dark Zero, but then we lose like I don't know what game it was, either Raza or Dark Zero, where on Lair we lost like a 5 for the 3 attack half, and it was overtime. match point. I think if we win that one more round, we're making it through to playoffs. I think it's like the small things where we need to be consistent with just
Wasn't
being
that
being there.
layer against BDS map 1?
Might be, yeah. And
They
then I think if we win map 1 and map 2 and don't lose map 1, we make it through to playoffs. If we legit needed like one more round
Yeah, it was
in
layer.
any
I
map.
checked it.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Yeah. And it's like if we don't lose these rounds, it would be like that's something we worked on basically for the past 3 months, just showing up when it matters and bringing the same energy and like like play style and like just vibes that we had in the last two maps, last two matches in Boston.
The vibes around PSG Talon were so good. So everyone was rooting for PSG Talon to go to groups. That was
Yeah, that cast from Ace and Death was like one of the most enjoyable casts I
no.
think heard in years.
In talking about, I'm gonna talk about Reload. We started talking about Reload. I'm both communities right now. The international community that speaks English and Brazilian community that speaks Portuguese. The surrounds around Reload doesn't matter. It's like a tier S event, but less than a major. Of course, less than a six invitational, but feels like Kings League for those who watch football. It's football, not soccer. And for
Yeah,
those
yeah.
those who watch football. And how do you feel about Reload?
I mean, I basically agree with what you said. It doesn't give you as eye points. It doesn't have like the any of the values that a major has where like team actually qualified for it. I feel like for the team pool for us it's actually good because there's some bad teams in here that wouldn't make it in like any other circumstance other than being invited. So good for us, I guess. But on the other side, the format is also it's a joke. Like I talked about about it with another coach earlier today. If you're like a low seed for round 3 and you're being able to pick like Scars, Keck, like basically any APEC team, and you are able to bet 8 bullets, you're guaranteed to make playoffs. And it's so you could maybe even choke until round 3, just be able to be like a low seed, pick a shit team, and then bet 8 bullets and you're through. I don't know. The format just doesn't make any sense. It's so based on luck and so based on just having a low seed. I don't know. I don't like it. I feel like yes, it's a show match kind of for the new game, but I don't know what the crowd they want to cater to with it. I mean, we have like the one-on-one stuff, which feels like the Jinxie crowd is the target audience for the one-on-one stuff. Then they have like all the other fun stuff in the background that is so complicated that like none of the casual watchers will understand it. So I mean, I think it feels like this should cater to everyone, but doesn't cater to anyone because of it, because it doesn't have like a targeted audience.
We feel like we are so close to Reload, and we still have a lot of people that doesn't understand the format. You're gonna go in any score in any match. You can load ranked right now. And you're gonna feel like, how is Reload? Why is Reload?
Yeah,
Mm,
it's yeah. Sorry.
no, okay, can talk.
Yeah,
Keep
I
going.
mean it's such a I mean the format I feel like it's a little bit like Blast Bounty inspired, if
Yeah,
you know what that means
of
from
course,
CS.
Blast Bout is
Yeah.
about for CS.
Yeah, but it's everything in words. I don't know, it just doesn't make much sense that you have to like that you can bet different bullets and everything is called reload or bullet in the entire rulebook. It's like it's so complicated that they had to make 2 videos around it. Just
Yeah,
make it an easier format that people get into.
yeah.
It would make it so much easier to watch.
And why 6 bullets? Why not? Why not 5? It's called Rainbow Six. They have a reason.
I don't
Uh,
know.
no, let's talk about the season. You are playing, coaching PSG Talon in APL, APAC North. The let's say a weird region. Why is weird, Capellini? No, it's not the teams are weird, but it doesn't. It didn't have a challenger series. It's 8 teams, 4 partner teams, and 8 affiliate teams. And how do you feel playing like the top notch of Korea and Japan and apparently Brazil? Not the top notch of Brazil, but Uh,
The mid to low tier of Brazil. Yeah.
yeah, mid to low tier of Brazil. But how do you feel playing like in a region that people doesn't qualify? And how do you see PSG Talons beginning of the season in June?
I mean, towards the teams, I think I hate import teams. I think PSG could have easily imported 5 Europeans when Fabian joined and just ran the league, but it's boring. I think if you're like trying to push a scene and like push a region, like Fabian and like I think also Ubisoft and Blast tried to push APEC last year with like how many major spots APEC had and how much leagues and team slots into one there were. If you're trying to push a league, then also like get a rule in there that foreign talent can't get into the league, because now we are basically down to only 2 Korean teams, and I mean, Mer Gaming, I'll talk about them later, but it's like 2 good Korean teams, and then D Plus couldn't find any good Korean players, so they just import cheap Brazilians, which is lazy. I think it's just lazy. Instead of growing like grassroots scene, like developing young talent, it's now, yeah, let's import Brazilian or let's import Europeans. I think, yeah, it's a lazy ruling and also lazy habit from teams. I understand it from like a winning or marketing standpoint. Sure, you D plus gets Brazilians, they are most likely top two, top three in the league. Will make majors. It's like easy money for the org. Fully get that, but Ubisoft should just make a rule against it.
No, yeah.
Um, yeah,
No, I was saying that talking about Brazil and Korea, ta- Fabian talking about in Raza's stream during the sixth invitation that it's hard to manage PS Town. Not because Korean, but because if he has to replace someone, not because he wants, but what if he needs, like someone gets sick, someone stops playing, they don't have tier 2 scene.
yeah, and I think that is a weird problem, which I don't fully understand, because looking at other esports, like Korea is dominating, like League of Legends, Overwatch, I don't know, StarCraft, like multiple other games, League of Legends, not League, Koreans are just dominating the scene. They have like an insanely deep player pool. Like in League of Legends, we see like permanently tier 2 players being like top tier 1 players in other regions. And like in Korea, we barely have a player pool to fill 10 teams last season, or 8 teams, or whatever the stage was. I think 8 teams. So it's, I don't understand it in a way, but yeah, Fabian, I fully agree with what Fabian said. It's super hard to replace players because there's just no one that has like a level of experience and the skill to replace. Like there's basically only recycled players in the league. If you look at Mer Gaming, now the roster, is it announced? I think it's like
I
leaked, not
It's
officially
announced. It's
announced.
announced. It's like Ward, Aing,
Mm.
Timali, Rumatik, Harry, and Neps.
Yeah. So it's basically players that we've seen for like 2 or 3 years that didn't achieve basically anything. I mean, Rheumatic was on us, went to EWC, and then he was benched. But I mean, that's the person that achieved the most because he went to an ST tournament. But like, that's the kind of player that you have to pick up as a Korean team, kind of, because there's nobody else. And I think that's tragic. I also don't understand why Mer Gaming got the spot. Like, Japan has a pretty big tier 2 scene. Like, there, I don't know how many signups there were for like the open qualifier for LCQ and majors, but I think it was like 60, 70, 80 teams, or maybe even more. So
Wow.
like they have a huge scene for like tier 2. I don't know why they don't get the spot. Or like China, we have new Chinese teams coming up. I don't know why China doesn't get a spot now. Like, why Mer Gaming? I feel like they were the worst choice in my opinion. Like, we don't mind it. I think their team is not good, but I don't
No,
understand
but
the choice.
as an orc, as everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know it's kind of. I feel like being in the other side of the world. It's so easy to talk about Korea here, but Korea doesn't have like a first-person shooter scene. Uh, of course we have Overwatch. I like Overwatch, so I'm like the three guys in Brazil that likes Overwatch, and but I never seen Koreans play. Of course, Valorant is it's like the exception,
Yeah, yeah,
but
I
I
would
never
agree with that.
I watched Counter Strike all of my life, and I never saw a Korean team making that far. And Siege, it was the first time I saw a Korean team in a first person shooter. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for No, I never. I'm not a league fan. I'm not a MOBA fan, so I don't like. And when you're talking about the tier 2 players in league, it's so true because Brazil imports a lot of Korean players from tier 2 here. The best Brazilian players are Korean that doesn't have enough to play in tier 1 there, so they
Yeah,
come to Brazil and play here. And then I think we kind of think the same way about the siege, but Riot has a rule that you can import only 2 Koreans. So Blast that doesn't have this.
yeah, it's I don't know. I would love to have like a 2 out of 5 import rule, and maybe if you're like staying for 2 years in a region, like for example Spoit in NA now, then you count like a as a homegrown player, like green card kind of thingy. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's so weird in Rainbow Six Siege. Maybe like our GM of PSG Talent said once that Siege is like the last game you get into it because it's 18 plus, and like Overwatch and League of Legends you can start a lot younger. So the development starts earlier, but it's also I feel like it only part of the excuse, I guess, because
Yeah,
they should be a bigger scene. I mean, there's
yeah,
money in Siege. There's like we have like D plus is a huge org, Fox is a huge org, PC Challenge is a huge org. We had T1 once in Rainbow. Like they're really fucking big orgs inside Siege, but I don't know, they can't bring teams to the top and can't develop like a bigger scene.
yeah. No, it's kind of weird. Like it maybe something cultural, right? Like you're from Germany, I'm from Brazil. We play FPS since day one. Not only Siege, but Counter Strike and Valorant. And for them, the esports scene started there as the StarCraft. It's like they. It's weird. I agree with you, but I'm looking on the other side. And we talk about Blast is kind of. I think they expect people to get some Brazilians, just like G2, just like M80, but they didn't expect like a two full Brazilian teams in APL. So I think next year that something's gonna change. And it has to change because people received that the news pretty bad.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I think it's for the Apex fans, it's I think really bad to have players there for your org that you don't have any connection to. Because they don't speak your language, they don't play on your servers. I mean, it's also kind of unfair in my opinion because the like Elevate and D plus get like the good Brazil practice while we are stuck in Apex scrimming like the same 6 teams over and over again. And it's like I think it's just there's such a disconnect between like the scene, the players, the fan base, the orgs. It's weird.
Yeah. No, when I come for I came from a region that never had an import. Oh no, I mean that's correct. We have an import. Just Lucas is the first import Brazil has, but Just Lucas is a Brazilian, so the first import Brazil has is Brazilian. Uh,
Yeah.
that's good. Joker, do you have a final message? Some want to say for the PSG fans, for the people that's gonna be in Rio rooting for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, thanks to the org for supporting us and like flying us out here to Brazil for like good scrims. I really enjoyed the time here in Sao Paulo, and thanks to other fans cheering for us. Keep supporting us. Keep supporting us, even if the matches maybe not go well. And I mean, cheer loud for us and shit talk everyone when we're winning. I mean, you knew it. You were the fans from the beginning. So yeah, looking forward to reload in Rio and enjoy watching.
Now, guys, thank you so much. As I said in the beginning, I will be in Rio. I'm gonna make some content in Rio. So if you want, uh, subscribe to the channel, like the video. My socials and Joker socials, Joker's over there because the cover is inverted, are gonna be in the description. I don't know how to say in English. My YouTube is in Portuguese, but thank you so much for watching. See you next time. A
Thanks
good
for having me. Have fun.